Hello, hello, one and all. And I know you're all looking forward to and wanting to know what happens next with the interrogation. Everyone's imprisoned. Well, you're not going to find out yet, because in true Who Wants to Be a Millionaire form, we're going to go to a break. But instead of that, we are going to, instead, switch over to Blitzel and find out what happened next. Yep, I didn't do this to you on purpose. This just so happens to be the next session we run is Blitzel, so, you know, with Laurie. Where did we last leave Blitzel, if you happen to be following his tale? Well, if you remember rightly, he was on Bone Island, and we were running our way through the fighting fantasy Blood Bones. Yar, and there's Cinnabar Bone on the front. Yar. And yeah, the so he starts wandering about, and I'm like trying to work out with him which direction he's gonna set off in, sort of thing. And you know, I'm just like going through what the book says he can do, because other than that, I really can't accommodate anything else on Bone Island. But there's like 3 directions. So I get through like a couple of them, and he says, no, I want to go south. And I haven't even mentioned anything about south yet. So it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, south is the 3rd option that I was about to say. So there's that. Right, so you're doing that. Okay. And he meets a crazy person. It's in typical kind of Monty Python sort of we want a shrubbery kind of type of dude here. So yeah, Blitzel gave up his shark tooth necklace and was given information about the treasure, and that it's that away down in the cave, and it's be careful because it's cursed, and the Black Scar's treasure. But he goes on down to that cave anyway, and goes on in and lights a candle to get in, and the bats are disturbed and flapping around, and they're vampire-y, sort of like nibblocious and stuff. Oh yeah, there's all this other crazy shit like giant insects in this place, and ridiculous other things. In fact, all the time he was here, at one point he's attacked by like a giant mosquito and contracted a really fast version of malaria, which he had another cure disease. It's just like, you know, playing Skyrim or something. Always carry a potion of it, you know. You don't want that sanguinous mild form thing to kick off, or whatever you do. Somehow the dogs have joined me up here. That's not very. Anyway, goes in there, uncovers the treasure, which is the bone sword, finds it, and the gold, loads of treasure, starts rising up and turning into a golem. So he has to fight this treasure golem. This thing comes alive, and Blitzel's pretty mental. He beats it. It gave him a pretty good run for his money, but Blitzel's mental, alright? So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah, that happens, and then, well, he comes back out of the cave where, you know, he's been doing that, and heck, he's managed to survive going through a marsh and all the nastiness in that. He comes to a village where the native peoples are in the village, and they allow him in, and he has to prove himself in a test of strength and all this sort of thing, wrestle a leopard in a cage and all this other ridiculous stuff, walk across a log blindfolded, and dogs are here because I'm reporting from Ferelden once again, and they're fighting as usual. There needs to be the give present option for them to try and settle them down or whatever. Do you want some Abari Crunch? No. All right. So anyway. Yeah. I mean, so he's got the bone sword. This spirit beast attacks suddenly, and the bone sword suddenly glows to life with fire, and he starts fighting this thing with it, and it does all this extra damage to spirits, and he's kicking this thing's ass with that. And the tribe seems to know what the sword is as well. They can name it. Night Death, I think it was called. And so he's pressing on, manages to work his way all up to the north eventually, and finds the accursed temple that he needs to find, so that you can go in there and finish things, and finish off Cinnabar Bone and the High Priest as well, the hoodoo shit that's going on amongst it all. So he's got like 3 entrances, it seems, and that's the crossroads we're at. Really, really short update, basically, just to really tell you briefly what happened to the book. I can't remember everything in the order, and it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's one of those fighting fantasy books, and and stuff. You get the idea, though. If you want to play the fantasy book, the way he's gone, and you can retrack his roots, kind of. So, anyway, Blitzel's about to find himself going into this temple and getting himself into a whole load of trouble. But, we'll see if we go back to the group for the next session. Until then, I'll see you at the table.